Welcome to the Liz Javier podcast. I'm Liz Javier, and I am going to talk to you today about the universe and share a story with you. I had this whole entire thing planned out. I've actually been interested in thinking about starting this podcast now for months, and today here I am. And I can thank the universe for that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's happened in, the last 48 hours for myself. The things that the universe has placed in my way, the way the universe has pushed me, and how you can use that to your advantage as well. Now, you're probably wondering who the hell I am. That's actually what my first podcast was going to be, is to share a little bit about myself, some of the things that I've gone through, and why the heck I started this podcast. There are millions of other podcasts out there that you could be listening to. So I thank you for being here with me right now and hearing me out. And I bet if you're listening to this podcast or watching it on YouTube, if you are there now, is that there's something that draws you to this. You are trying to figure out what's going on next, trying to understand what the universe has in store for you, or you were just bored and this happened just to pop up on your list. But whatever reason that you are here, I'm so grateful for you and I thank you. And I hope that we can be friends. I like to get to know my listeners and where you guys are from. I am actually residing in Phoenix, Arizona. I've been here for about 3.5 years. I moved here because of my job. I lived in Austin, Texas for about 10 years prior to that, and then in Kansas City and Missouri and parts of Kansas as well for the first about 20 years of my life. So I want you to tell me in the chat, or if you're on YouTube in the comments or wherever you are, where are you from and what drew you to this podcast? I'm new to this, so I probably won't be doing any fancy editing or anything like that. I am going to make mistakes. There might be haters out there. I'm welcoming them as whatever your opinion is. I welcome that as well. Yes, I'm just another person in this world, just trying to make it through. And I hope that I can be someone that inspires you in your life. So I'm going to share with you what happened over the last 48 hours and how you can also use that as well. So the universe was calling, and I really didn't understand what it was trying to tell me. Over the last year or so, I knew there was something bigger and better out there. I've been trying to figure it out. Sorry, I got a little itch. And I've also been asking the universe for a sign. I've always been very, very big into manifestation. I want to manifest the best life for myself, figure out what it is that I truly want, and really go after it. So over the last 6 months, I've been diving deep into what is next in my life. So I started to take courses. So I've been taking a project management course. It's been very slow coming. I definitely have made excuses and let work get in the way of time for me to complete that course. I've also been looking into starting my own online business, my own podcast. As you now see me, I'm finally doing episode 1, which I'm super stoked about. So I hired a coach, and Annette, if you're listening to this, thank you so much for your inspiration over the last year. I finally hired Annette as my coach to help me with my business. Her and her husband have been amazing, and I'm going to tell you more about them later, and I hope I can get her onto this podcast as a guest in the future. All right, so that's the backstory. I have been at the same company for a little over 7 years, 7 years, 2 months, 3 months and 7 days if you want to kind of keep track of that. And I got a call or a Teams meeting just not even 48 hours ago saying that my position is being eliminated. I am going to be let go of the company. And it had nothing to do with my performance or anything like that. It's just a business decision. And obviously, anytime you're laid off, fired, or maybe you're just in a bad place and you end up quitting a job, it's devastating. I was absolutely devastated. And why am I smiling now? I have really come to terms with what this truly means. And I'll tell you why. So the title of this is The Universe is Calling. Are you listening? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the times that I have listened and the times that I have not, and how I can start listening right now, and how I've made decisions based on what the universe is telling me. Now, first, I want to just kind of chat about what does that mean when I talk about the universe. The universe is this higher power, right? It's the energy around you. Some people that are religious out there, it could be your guy or deity, or God or deity, whatever that is to you. It doesn't necessarily have to be this invisible random thing, right? It's whatever you can put your heart and faith in. Even if you're not religious, this doesn't mean that you have to pick up a religion. This just means you have to believe that there is a power and a force and an energy out there that is working in your favor. And you're going to hear me talk about that a lot. So I know it's a little woo woo, and I want to be one of those people that like tells you how it is for real. I'm not trying to get all woo woo and touchy feeling on some things, but there might be some times that I do. But I want you to understand that what you focus on is what you get. Also, what you put out there is what you get back. It could be just like applied physics, right? Energy in motion remains in motion. So it's not just the woo-woo stuff. There's science behind it. And I'm going to do my best not only to bring in the inspirational, spiritual, motivational, internal feelings of things, but also proof and science to it as well. Today won't be much proof and science. This will be mainly just talking about what I've experienced. So 48 hours ago, less than that actually, I got this news, obviously devastating. I've been through a lot of things in my life. And I will tell you, this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. And also, it became like one of the most positive things that I could have ever reacted to. There's been times in the past where I immediately went into throwing a pity party. I would immediately feel bad for myself, tell everybody around me what happened to me, and just say, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm devastated. I'm lost. I'm confused. I'm screwed, all of those things. And this time around, I did share. I did share with my family and close friends what happened to me. Because one, I want them to know what's going on, just in case something does happen where I do go into a bad place. But also, they can help me. Always reaching out for help is something that I haven't done a lot in the past. Normally, I would just process on my own, not reach out to anybody, just be by myself. And this time I decided I'm not going to do this alone. I don't want to do this alone. So then I processed, I made some calls to my team to let them know how much they mean to me and how much I'm going to miss them. And, my purpose was to just let them know, like, hey, whatever happens in the future, keep it positive. This is not a good thing for a lot of us. And, a lot of my team I had respect for, have been working with for the last 3 years. And I decided I didn't want to go out on this, everyone wondering what happened and talking negative about me or the company or anything that had happened. So I decided to get ahead of it, call my team and talk to them individually. There was about 20 of them. I didn't really get a chance to talk to all of them, but I got to majority before I got emotionally drained. And at the end of the day, I just told them, stay positive, stay motivated, do your job. You guys are in a great place right now. Just because this happened to me doesn't mean that you guys have to worry about me. I'm going to be okay. And, there were some tears. There were some team members where we talked, and there was definitely some emotional tears. And, I don't think that's going to be the last time I talk to some of them. I know some of them I will see and want to keep in contact with. And now that I'm not their boss, I'm going to be able to be their friend, which is really cool. So I already found a positive thing out of that. But what you don't know and sometimes realize until something like this happens is what the impact you're making on people around you. So through those phone calls, I'm so happy that my team felt very, very open and, honest with me and, giving me the words of encouragement that I need that I've always give to them, but they just were there for me and just let me know how much I did for them and meant to them, even though they never said anything. So that was a very emotional roller coaster 2 days ago when I had to make those phone calls. And I'm so glad that I did. I could have just disappeared, not told anybody where I was going or what happened, and they could just make their assumptions. So that was one thing that I did that, I in the past, in jobs previous to that, I don't know if I would have. And so I'm so happy that I have had the growth, emotionally as well as like spiritually and professionally to be able to make that move. So the universe has been calling me over the last year. and has put different things in my way. I started to follow Sammy Wonder, who is an amazing love and relationship coach. She's based out of Germany, but I somehow ran into a training that she had, a workshop of some sort. I attended it. I loved it. I wanted to get into a relationship and figure out, I just went through a breakup last August. And so being single, it's been very hard and trying to heal emotionally. And I wanted to make sure that I was in a good place before I got into another relationship. So if I wanted to make it work, if that was the person I was supposed to be with, that I was emotionally healthy and in a good place. From there, she introduced me to I guess you can call her business coach, and that where's Annette comes into play. And she designed this platform for coaches, for online coaches to host their trainings, to host their workshops, and to store their different worksheets, workbooks, and then also have an online community where they can bring their people together. And I was like, I wish I had something like this back in 2017 when I first started my health coaching business. This would have been something that I would have utilized, and man, I was so excited. And I said, well, maybe this is something I can invest in and really push into to start my online business again. I've been really itching for something new. So I signed up for this online program or portal that I could use, and it came with additional training. And so I started to get in there and get motivated and inspired. I will say I eventually did dwindle off, but at some point I figured out that Annette and her husband, they live in Phoenix. And I was like, this is not a coincidence. This is the universe telling me that if someone in Germany can connect to somebody here in Phoenix, if I can be connected to that person and I sign up and I am in the same city as them, there's something more here that I need to explore. So that was one of the signs from the universe. There's been several since then, but now I'm realizing some of the ones that I have pushed aside and not even looked at. So now I'm starting to journal and think back. What are all of the things that have come up over the last year that maybe I was like, is this a sign? Should I do this? Is this something that I should be looking into and revisiting those? Ultimately, what I took, and not even 48 hours ago, from the time that I was told I no longer have employment, is after the tears have been wiped from my eyes, I took this as a sign from the universe. I manifested this. So it took me until just a few hours ago to realize I freaking manifested this shit. So just a little bit about how I manifested this. My job currently is I make my own schedule, but I was coaching fitness classes, and we have the studios open from anywhere from 4:35 a.m. all the way till 7-8 p.m. at night. And so I still have to be on call, and be available and go in and coach classes early morning, late nights, and things like that. And I just was getting so tired. I've been in this job for 7 years, been doing the same grind, inconsistent schedule. I've loved it. I loved it. Like, I absolutely love the things that I get to do in my job. But when it comes to that personal life balance, that's what I've been missing. And so I keep saying, oh my gosh, I need to find something that is more my speed. What I really want out of the next thing is being able to wake up between 5:30 and 6:30 a.m., be able to go to the gym, go to yoga, whatever it is in the activity that I want in the morning to get my physical body going. Be able to spend 5 to 30 minutes in the morning time after that meditating. Then being able to go shower, get coffee, be able to relax, and then get my day started sometime between like 9 and 10 a.m. And I'm fine working until 5 or 6 p.m. But then once I'm done working, being able to shut it off and spend time with my friends, being able to go and make plans to do things without knowing I have to wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. to go to work some days. The second thing was I drive all over Arizona. So I've been driving to Flagstaff once every couple months, to Tucson once or twice a month. I live in the Midtown Phoenix area, in Goodyear's the West Valley. We have studio out there, all the way to the East Valley, Queen Creek, Mesa, Tempe, South Chandler, Awatuki, Chandler area. I mean, we're spread out all over Arizona, mostly Phoenix, the greater Phoenix area. And I had been driving about 300 miles a week, sometimes less, sometimes more, but probably on average 300 miles a week. And I don't know if you've ever driven in Arizona before. Ooh, the traffic. It's not really even the traffic, it's the drivers. It can be very scary out there driving in Arizona, especially in the Phoenix area. Big white trucks just think they own the road. So that's just been something in my heart is like, I don't want to drive this much anymore. I can't wait to find the next thing. Like, I don't mind commuting into work. I don't mind commuting to do something, during the day. But if I could spend 100 miles or less a week driving in traffic and being able to do that on the time that I see fit for myself, that would just feel really good. So those were two things that I had put out to the universe, and I've been saying over and over again, I can't wait until I have a job where I don't have to drive anymore like this. I can't wait until I have a job where I can wake up whenever I want to wake up, be able to get in what I want to in the morning before I start my job or whatever work that it is that I do. And so those are just a few examples of what I put into the universe. Once I started to do that, I started to get job posts, things like that. Some of them were very interesting to me, and a lot of them were in project management or program management. So that really inspired me. And that was, I think, the universe's way of saying, hey, these jobs align with what you want. These are the things that you have been looking for. You need to do what you need to do to get ready for them because no one's going to come save you. You need to do the work to get your project management certification. Let's get to that PMP work. Let's study for that test and let's crush it. So that's what the universe has been telling me, and I just didn't really read the signs well enough to do that. There was other signs, I can't really talk about, when it came to things that happened at work, but there were a lot of things that kept pushing me like, look, you've got to figure out what you're going to do next. This is not going to last very long. So there were signs that from the universe that this was coming. And so I'm very grateful for that. That really prepared me to be able to handle the news when it actually did come. So I encourage you as you are going throughout life, whether it's you're happy and looking for the next thing, you're sad and in a bad relationship, you're angry and don't know what to do next, you're confused, you're lost, I want you to take some time and look around. You can either be the victim and say, these are things that are happening to me. I lost my job. I can't believe this has happened to me. Someone ran into my car in the parking lot. This is happening to me. Or you can say, hey, let me take a look at this situation and see what's happening for me. Because after I thought about it and after I reflected, I journaled, I meditated, I thought about what it means to be in this position. One, I have the freedom to do whatever the hell I want to do next. Two, I'm a highly motivated person under pressure. So here's the pressure. Now I need to figure out what it is that I need to do. So that added pressure is only going to motivate me to push forward. And in the situation, I could have played the victim. I could have played the victim card and said, all these things are happening to me and someone come help me. Someone come save me. Tell me what to do next. Well, here's a wake-up call, and probably one of the top 3 best pieces of advice I've ever heard. I've heard it in several places, and I wish I could give credit to the person who told it to me first. When something isn't going your way, when you need help to do something, no one's going to come save you. That doesn't mean you can't ask for help. That just means if you sit around and you do nothing, or you're expecting that someone is going to come through, someone's going to come swoop you up and save you, someone's going to come riding in on their horse, a dark knight or white knight in armor trying to help you through things, swoop you up and take you away, it ain't going to happen. First thing you need to do is stop playing the victim and start playing offense. Right? When you play the victim, you're playing defense. And when you're not strong enough, you're going to be plummeted. You're going to be pummeled through and you're going to lose. You play offense, be proactive. Okay, well, this is happening to me. How is this happening to me in a positive way? And what can I take from this to learn lessons and grow? So here are a few other lessons that I have learned along those lines from, this situation. One, control what you can and accept what you can't. And it's that pity party place that you can go. Trust me, I used to be the head of the pity party planning committee. Ooh, tried to say that 10 times fast. Pity party planning committee. I used to be the one that always would throw that pity party whenever I wanted somebody to help me or to try to figure out what's going on next and have someone step in and help me because I'm so pathetic. And I didn't realize I was doing that. And I still do it sometimes without even knowing, like saying, oh, well, I had such a long day. I don't want to clean this, or I had such a long day. I don't want to do this or that. And I'm hoping someone will say, oh, I'll do it for you. But all they're doing is feeling bad for you and feeling sad for you. I didn't realize I don't want people to feel bad or sad for me. And when I made those phone calls to my team saying, I don't want you to feel bad, I'm going to be okay. That's exactly what I did. Is I stopped throwing a pity party and learned how to be a positive influence to those and a motivation to those around me. When you play the victim, when you get people to pity you, it's not really good feeling inside, whether you realize it or not. Now, you can take that same thing and just go to somebody and be like, hey, look, this happened to me. I lost my job. I'm looking for the next thing, and reach out to people and say, hey, can you help me? I'm looking to get my project management certification. Do you know anybody that's gotten it and someone I can talk to? Or I've reached out to a few people that I know and said, hey, I'm no longer at my company. I'm looking for opportunities. If you hear of something, you see of something, this is what I'm looking for. Could you just be on the lookout for me and reach out? So instead of playing the pity party, posting on social media, oh my God, I'm devastated, I lost my job, I didn't post anything. I just posted on LinkedIn, hey, I'm looking for opportunities, I want growth, and that's it. Taking the pity out and putting that positivity in. Asking for help in a positive way is actually going to encourage people to help you more. And not only will they help you still, whether you did it the pity way or the positive way, they're going to look at you in a different light. They'll be like, oh gosh, that person, she's so pathetic, but I'm going to help her because I feel bad. Or it could be, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened to her, but she's being so positive. Oh my gosh, I'm going to help this person. And guess what? In a situation where you're trying to find a job, it's probably a better situation where you're acting positive about it than that pity party or negativity on it. So control what you can, accept what you can't. I couldn't control that this was happening to the company, that this was happening to me. But I controlled how I took my energy, and instead of putting it into a negative way, trying to blame others for what happened, or going to people and saying that it's their fault, I'm taking that and putting that energy into something positive. And that's why I'm starting this podcast. Even though I know I was going to start this before, this is really what happened to me less than 48 hours ago, is what's driving me to start this today. So that's the second thing. Take aligned action. I've been wanting to start this podcast. I've been wanting to start my online coaching business, but I haven't done it. So I've been taking aligned action over the last 4 weeks to do so. I'm taking aligned action today to get this podcast and this inspiration out. Even if only one person watches this, I hope you, as that one person, get some motivation and inspiration out of this. Next lesson, it takes practice. Anything you do takes practice. I've been a personal trainer and in the fitness industry for a long time. You didn't get good at squats right off the bat, right? You got better at them with practice. Every rep, everything that you do to get better takes practice. So when you're doing things like trying to take a negative into a positive, you've got to practice. No one's going to help you. You got to do it. You ask for help, people can help you. But at the end of the day, they can only give you the tools that you need to do something. You're the one that needs to do it. So take that aligned action and practice it. Just like this podcast, I wasn't sure how this was going to go because I watched, kicking over my tripod. Exactly. I didn't know how this was going to go, whether I was going to kick over my tripod, whether I was going to stutter, say a lot. I'm practicing, right? Because I feel this in my heart. Whatever happens is supposed to happen. I know this is just my very beginning. They're only going to get better from here. Next thing I learned, I listened to a Mel Robbins podcast at the gym yesterday and really talked about your confidence. Actually, might have been a few days ago. And it talked about your confidence. Confidence comes from action and knowledge. Confidence comes from what you surround yourself with. So you can choose to say you've lost your confidence because something happened to you. I want you to take that out of your verbiage. You didn't lose your confidence. Your confidence is still there. You just need to get that flashlight, light that candle, light the fire so you can see it. Because you might have done something really great in your life, and then something happened to really kill your confidence. It did not completely kill it. You did not lose it. It has dimmed, but it's still there. So get the knowledge you need to be confident in what you want to do next, and then take the action to do it. Again, that practice, going back from that second lesson, it takes practice. It takes knowledge, practice, and action. You've got to do it. And then the last thing I'm going to leave with you today is what you focus on is what you get. Be careful what you ask for, but don't be afraid to aim high and ask for more. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to understand how it all works. Just take action. Just do something. No one's going to come save you. All right. That's all I have. Today's short and sweet. I'm going to try to keep these podcasts under 30 minutes. I want to know what you want to hear about. What is it that you're struggling with in your life? Put in the comments. I will read all of them and get back to everybody. So, all right. All right, killer. Get out there. Crush it. You're a badass. Don't forget. And if no one tells you I love you, sorry, Mel Robbins, I might have stolen that from you a little bit, but I'm allowed to also steal it. If no one else tells you I love you, you are an amazing, wonderful person, and you deserve the best out of life. So go out there and get it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.